Welcome back. Japanese department stores like Daimaru, Mitsukoshi, and Yaohan used to be sprinkled throughout Hong Kong. Many left during the downturn after the financial crisis. But as producer Keith Yun finds, the Japanese brand is still popular among Hong Kongers, and there are newcomers in the market with grand ideas. And with that, the casket is opened and sake flows freely.
About 10 suppliers flying from Japan today to Hong Kong to officiating the opening ceremony today. It demonstrated the close relationship with the Japanese agents and suppliers.
This department store used to be known as Seiyu, a fixture in Sha Tin for 18 years. It was bought by Sun Ang Kai in 2005. After years of ongoing renovations and expansion, the store was relaunched in April as Yata. About half the products in the store come directly from Japan, including this beef, Wagyu.
No doubt, supermarket is one of our premier products well received by the Hong Kong customers. And it will be definitely one of the expansion focus. We are not doing the daily necessity business.
There are many department stores and supermarkets. Hong Kong people can buy Japanese food stuff. Since several years ago, not only the Japanese producer, suppliers, and even the government started to promote, export those products to out of Japan. And the Japanese government set a target to double in 5 years. Hong Kong is the biggest target for them because there is a big demand.
According to Japan's trade statistics, Hong Kong became the world's biggest importer of Japanese food last year, surpassing the US. The mainland comes in fourth. In the 1980s, with their quality merchandise at reasonable prices, Japanese department stores became extremely popular in Hong Kong. At the peak, there were 11 Japanese operators, making up half of the city's department store business.
In the 80s, the Japanese operators gave us a new retail format. In the one company, they include variety textile, supermarket, and food arcades. And this is really new for Hong Kong people. Yeah, supermarket thing like superstore. It's pretty like the 1980s Yaohan, as we can remember, because I worked there for 2 years.
But there was a substantial contraction in the number of Japanese department stores in Hong Kong following the 1997 financial crisis. Late in 1997, partly because the parent company was faltering in Japan, 8 Yaohan stores in Hong Kong closed. That was followed the next year by the closures of Daimaru and Matsuzakaya. During that time, the total department store's sales floor area plunged from more than 900,000 square meters to just over 500,000.
All of a sudden, because the economic recession, and then most of the people have a low income, the purchase power become less, and so they bought less product. There's also the rent problem. The rent was too high, the department store cannot afford it.
The downtrend in the amount of department store space has never been reversed. Chung says one reason is landlords earn more money leasing their area to several tenants instead.
Unless at the very beginning and you plan to build the department store within the building. Otherwise, later on, it will be very difficult to make any change. If any developer wants to open a new department store, this may involve long-term planning.
Daniel Chung says this is creating a problem for Yata's expansion plans, where they're eyeing East Kowloon and the new territories north.
It depends on the size of the shop that we can source from the landlord in Hong Kong. That is very difficult to source a shop area larger than 100,000 square feet. And if the size is smaller than 50,000, we may be only allowed to open supermarket there. But if the size is as large as 100,000, we will be opening a consolidated department store, inclusive of a supermarket.
Sogo remains a landmark in Causeway Bay. The Japanese department store was bought by Lifestyle International, a Hong Kong company, in 2001. The general manager says it was always the intention to continue and even enhance the Japanese brand.
In order to strengthen the Japanese image, we closed for almost like 45 days and then to take the renovation to upgrade our supermarket. And also at the same time, we invite quite a lot of the new Japanese brands.
And Lo says the problem of rent is not a concern for Sogo.
We own our own premises, that we don't have to face the problem of the rental. I believe most of the Japanese department store, they're not willing to pull out from Hong Kong, but however, they have no other choice because of the high rental prices.